Dentistry revolutionizing smiles. Tech and teeth walking down the aisles. Same day crowds lining up for miles.
Hey everyone, ready to dive into the future of dentistry? We're talking robots wielding dental instruments.
It's already happening.
You're not kidding. So to get us started, we've got this amazing YouTube video from NYU Dentistry, right? They're showing off their robotic implant system, Yomi.
Right. And we've also got that in-depth research review from the Journal of Dental Sciences. It covers a whole bunch of different robot-assisted procedures, not just implants.
Perfect combination.
Yeah.
Right? We get the excitement of seeing Yomi in action at NYU, and then we get the bigger picture from the research. So what's the mission today?
I think our goal is to give everyone a clear, balanced view of robot dentistry. Like, what's the reality, what's still hype, the good, the bad.
Exactly. And what about the future of all this? This field is changing so fast. Let's start with that NYU video. That Yomi system is impressive, and those students and faculty were so pumped.
It's understandable. I mean, Yomi is the world's first FDA-approved robotic system for dental implant surgery. That's a big deal.
Totally. What struck me was how Yomi helps dentists be so incredibly precise when they're placing implants.
Yeah, that's key for implants.
Yeah.
Even a tiny mistake can really impact how well the implant works long-term. Not to mention the patient's comfort.
And the video did a good job showing how patients might feel about this. Let's be honest. Dental surgery can be scary.
You're kidding.
But if you see a video of this robot arm making sure everything's perfect.
I bet that's reassuring for a lot of people.
Right. It's like, okay, the robot's got this. And they made it clear, Yomi's not replacing dentists. It's giving them this super high-tech tool.
Exactly. The surgeon is still in control, making the decisions. The robot just helps them be as precise as possible.
Like having a super steady hand guiding them.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So Yomi's getting a lot of attention, which makes sense, but it's one of many robots in dentistry.
That's what I was thinking. The research review showed me just how big this field is getting. I had no idea. They were talking about all these different types of robots.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how fast things are changing. And it's not just about the types of robots, but how they're used in dentistry.
Right, like those active robots they talked about, the ones that can do things independently. They mentioned the YekiBot, which can actually prepare an implant site and then place the implant all on its own.
Pretty wild, huh?
It really is. But then you've got passive robots like Yomi or DentRobot, which still need a dentist guiding them through the procedure.
Okay.
So active robots are leading the charge. Passive robots are more like really, really good assistants.
Right, but there's also semi-active robots that do some things on their own, but also let the dentist step in when they need to.
So we've got active robots, passive robots, semi-active robots. It's a lot. But do these things actually work? Like, does the research show that they live up to all the hype?
It's a good question, and for a lot of things, the answer is yes.
Okay, so what's working well? Where are these robot dentists really making a difference?
Well, for one, accuracy. Robots are really, really good at being precise, and that's super important for a lot of dentistry.
So they're more accurate than humans. Wow.
The research shows that, yeah. For example, one study looked at implant placement and found that with a robotic system, the angle was only off by an average of 2.56 degrees.
That's tiny. I can't even imagine trying to be that accurate.
Exactly. It's like threading a needle with a robot's hand. And that's just one example. There are a lot of studies showing how robots can improve accuracy for different procedures.
That's really impressive. But what about speed? Can they actually make these procedures faster? Because let's face it, no one wants to spend more time in a dentist chair than they have
You're
to.
guessing me. Well, it kind of depends. Some procedures, it's about the same, whether you use a robot or not. But then there are cases like full arch implant placement.
Where you're replacing a whole row of teeth with implants.
Exactly. Traditionally, that could take hours, but robots can cut that time way down.
Wow, that's a huge difference. Talk about a game changer for the patient and the dentist. Okay, so we've got accuracy, we've got speed. What about safety?
Well, that's another area where things get really interesting. So far, the clinical studies haven't reported any complications with robot-assisted dentistry.
Really? That's amazing. What makes them so safe?
I think it's that precision. They take away a lot of the risk of human error. When you're talking about things like implant placement or root canals, even a tiny mistake can make a big difference. But robots just don't make those kinds of mistakes.
It makes sense when you put it like that. So based on all this, it sounds like robots are the way to go for everything, right?
Hold on a second. It's not that simple. Robots are amazing at things that are, predictable, repetitive, like a factory. But the human mouth.
Yeah, things can get messy in there.
Exactly. And the technology isn't quite there yet for robots to handle all those unexpected things that can happen. I think the research article even mentioned this.
It did. They were talking about how robots need to be more flexible, more adaptable. What if a patient moves suddenly or
sneezes.
Right. So these robots aren't replacing dentists anytime soon.
Not yet. Not even close. They're more like really, really good assistants right now. Human dentists, they have all this knowledge, this experience. They can think on their feet. Robots can't do that. Not yet, anyway.
That's good to know. I mean, I'm all for progress, but
I hear you. But this is where AI comes in. Artificial intelligence. That's the next big thing in robotics, and it could change everything.
okay, now we're talking next level stuff.
Yeah.
AI robots doing dentistry.
Think about it. What if a robot could not only do the procedure, but also analyze scans, come up with the treatment plan, and even adjust to those unexpected things during surgery?
It would be like having a super dentist.
In a way, yes. And it's not just implants. The research talked about how AI could revolutionize other areas like endodontics, root canals.
Oh, I hate root canals.
So, but imagine a robot that could do those tiny, delicate procedures with perfect precision, no shaking hands, nothing. It could be faster, less painful, maybe even cheaper.
Okay, now that's a robot I could get behind.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Right. And that's just one example. The research also talked about orthodontics. Braces, aligners. Imagine AI robots helping design those, making them even more effective.
So AI robots could be doing everything, even cleaning our teeth.
It's out there. The research mentioned it. Apparently, they're already working on robots that can clean teeth.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Like, picture this. You walk into the dentist's office, and there's this robot dental hygienist. What would that even look like?
Huh. Good question. Maybe like one of those little robot vacuums, but for your mouth?
Okay, that's both cool and kind of creepy at the same time. But it makes you think, what about the patient experience with all this?
Yeah.
The research talked a lot about the tech stuff, how accurate robots are, how efficient, but they didn't really get into how people would feel about it all.
Right. That human element is huge. It doesn't matter how amazing these robots are if people are too freaked out to let them near their teeth.
Exactly. I mean, imagine walking into a dentist's office where it's just you and a bunch of robots. No thanks. Where's the human touch?
Right. Dentistry is so personal. You have to trust the person who's like right there in your mouth.
I'm with you. But this technology is changing so fast. At what point do you think it becomes too much? Would you be okay with a robot working on your teeth? Even if it meant a faster, more comfortable experience.
Ooh, tough question. And it's one we all have to think about because robots are definitely going to be a bigger part of dentistry going forward. It's not just about the technology itself, but our comfort levels, It's an interesting debate.
It really is. It seems like every day we're getting closer to this future with robot dentists. Who knows what's next? Maybe we'll all have our own personal robot dentists at home.
Huh. I wouldn't mind that.
Right. It's definitely a future full of possibilities. And hey, maybe we'll be back for another deep dive to explore those possibilities when they get here. But for now, that's all the time we have. Thanks for exploring the world of robot dentists with us.